What's going What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? This is your boy, the historian. We getting ready to get this thing started. So sit back, relax. We got you covered. Let's go.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Welcome. It is Thursday night. You're in the place to be, and we getting ready to get this thing started, man. So sit back, relax. We got you covered. We're gonna talk about a few things that's going on. Hey, we got K Dub in the building, and we also got Great. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on?
Hey, man, ready to get this thing started, and we gonna talk about it today. Got the defensive coordinators in the swing of things, and got a few things we gotta just discuss. So, man, so let's go ahead and get this thing started. Give me 1 sec. Let me get my screen right. While we're getting it started, also want to say a congratulations to Mr. Michael Vick for getting into the College Football Hall of Fame, and also Mr. Alex Mack as well. Can't forget about him either.
Two former Falcons, man. Beautiful sight.
Yes, sir.
It is chaos in the city. So if anybody in the city in the downtown ATL area, hey, we got a lot of things going on. National title game is Monday. A lot of preparation, a lot of things. It's just going on in the city right now. So hey, man, just take your time, get into your spots, man.
Most definitely. So when we sit back and look at it, Atlanta is going to be hosting the Super Bowl eventually. But when we host it, it'll be nice to have Mr. Michael Penix in that Super Bowl, hoisting that trophy when we get home.
What a beautiful sight that would be.
But the only way we're going to get that right is by getting this situation that we have right now.
Oh,
you got the defense, and you got a few other folks or whatnot that you got to just talk about. So at this point, all you can do is just laugh and just hope that everything is gonna get right with this one here. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So the first thing that we're gonna talk about today, Terry Fontenot ended up getting a press conference last week where he addressed a couple of things. Two of the things that he talked about in this press conference, I'm going to mention it first. The pass rush. What are you going to do about the pass rush? That's the question. How do we fix that? Graybeard?
How do we feel? I
How do
mean,
we fix
How
it?
do you
I mean,
fix the pass rush?
you gotta. Fixing the pass rush is gonna take time. You're not gonna be able to fix it in one draft. You're not gonna be able to fix it in one free agency period. But you got to be successful in the free agent period, and in the period, and in drafting, and also goes down to scouting. Man, what type of players are we scouting and whatnot? Because we don't see a multitude of players that did not come from top schools, that came from Division II and Division III, but that pretty much be our pot that we go looking in Division II. We don't look in our backyard when we look at UGA and the plethora of pass rushing that they put out. So I just think it's a couple of things that we can do in the front office and in scouting when we come going to evaluate these players and whatnot. It also comes down to what type of scheme we want to run. We just can't be just running everybody's scheme. We got to find a scheme that fits us as a team and whatnot, so we can build on some success.
Well, well, I'll just go ahead and say it. I think one, like you said, one of the issues, and I've been preaching this for years, um, we pretty much are having problems with the scouting department. Let's
Oh
just
yeah,
keep that a buck.
yeah.
Because again, you look at all the talent that we passed up on, you look at everything that they've taken. It's just sad. We don't do our due diligence when it comes to this team at all. The question is, as I sit back and wonder, what is Terry gonna do? At this point now, because you are the man in charge now, you're not handcuffed. What are you gonna do? Because right now, everything falls on you and Raheem at this point. They've taken the kid gloves off. The scapegoat is gone, which is Jimmy Lake. Now you have to make a competent hire for number one. For number two, you have to be in a situation to where you you really got to get some things to where, how can I put it, man? It's just different. It's just different. You have to change a lot of things up at this point. So it's just what it is at this point when it comes to Terry and the scouting department and his front office. But the first thing that needs to be addressed is a defensive coordinator. We have some guys that are in, but at the same time, we don't have a solid choice because right now they're just going through the due diligence. K Dub, what do you think needs to happen when it comes to selecting this defensive coordinator? What are you looking for? And what do you think is going to really happen when it comes to that?
Well, I think they're on the right path. I mean, they're interviewing guys that are having some tenure and a grizzly veteran, like I was saying in other previous shows. So I just want them to zero in on the best man for the job. I know everybody's leaning towards uh, the head coach that we got, and that we got that we were looking for that came from Carolina. But I kind of like the guy that was at Michigan. That's just my choice out of the guys that they're looking
Uh-uh.
at. I mean, I'm just saying you can say but everyone has a title to their opinion. I mean, I'm looking at Steve Wilkes' record. He got let go at a lot of places, like 3 or 4 different stops. So I mean, also I know he's won, but he has gotten let go at a lot of spots. So I'm just saying who I think that they should hire. I mean, I could be completely wrong. He may come in here, turn his defense around, and have him playing lights out, and I will be applauding the hire. But I don't mind eating crow like we say on this show if I'm completely wrong. But I like what's his Winkingdale or Martindale, what his name is, from Wink Martindale from Michigan. That's who I like. But I mean, I understand that the masses, all the different sites that I'm looking at, they're strong toward Steve Wilkes, and we'll see what happens. But that's just my assumption. But I believe that the pass rush is already here. It's just the maturity of the guys that we have in house. We can continue to build upon that pass rush in this particular draft and continue to draft solid guys in this draft. I mean, I don't care what the board says. You take the best available defensive player every time you come up on the draft board. Every time. Don't look back, just like you didn't look back on Penix. Every time you're up, Even if you have a chance to draft and trade down or whatever they may be, every time that you pick, you take somebody to build this defense up and make plays and continue to a defense that can help Michael Penix along and get that ball back for the offense.
It's not the fact that people are not worried about the coach from Michigan. I just think most of the fans just want somebody that he can bet on the NFL caliber, who has experience
He's
dealing
coached
with.
in the NFL.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's got NFL experience. He coached
A lot of NFL
Baltimore.
experience.
Judon was one of his products in Baltimore.
My bad.
He's got some experience.
My
My
bad.
thing
I didn't
is,
know. I didn't know.
I'm gonna tell you my only deficiency with him. I don't want him. I'm gonna stand on it. That's
Oh.
cool. We can all have a damn difference of opinion, but I'm gonna give you reasons why. I ain't gonna talk feelings. The problem is he blitzes at the wrong times. That's the reason he was let go. And we sit back and talk about it. He's had a good defense, but he also has a lot of deficiencies because of things that he does. He will blitz, and put you in bad situations. Not saying we don't need a pass rush. We do, and we need to have more blitzing, but you got to also be smart about when you do it. That's been a knock on him. Now, as for my guy Wallace, I'm going to tell you just like this here. I'm going to strongly disagree with you on this. And the reason I say this is because of the fact that this scouting department that we've had has been deficient in making picks. The only pick that K-Dub is happy with is the Penix pick. We all happy about that. But if you look at everything else that's going on or whatnot, we've missed. You take Rukaroro over Murphy, Sweat, and then you also have Newton that's in Washington that we actually had a shot to get. Kamari Lassiter fell to the second round, and we didn't take him. We passed on Jared Verse, a guy that I said was going to be nice. And
TJ Tampa.
I hadn't missed on ever since we started this show. I hadn't missed on half of the talent I've called out, minus Ritter. We all missed on that one, but everything else I hadn't missed on because TJ Tampa is balling with Nate Wiggins in Baltimore. Then again, Marquise Bell was balling until he hurt his shoulder. And then we look at all the three defensive linemen we talked about, they're balling. And we look at what we have. Rook stayed hurt half the year, and it was still learning the playbook. When he was in, he made plays. Then you look at the fact that you pass on a Jamar Chase, you pass on a Michael Parsons to take a tight end that really ain't worth two dead flies smashed in the fourth round, and you're supposed to build on it. So again, when you sit back and look at all the misses that we've had, there's a ton of misses, Wallace. It's a problem. So we can disagree with that because I got a ton of players. Matter of fact, hell, I'll give you this here. It wasn't even in this regime, but I'll speak on it because Rich McKay was a part of that. You look at how they drafted Keon O'Neal. Keon O'Neal was up out of here before his rookie contract was gone.
Vic
Beasley, another one, bust. Tech McKinley, another bust.
That was a different regime from Fontenot, though.
I'm bringing out the fact that our scouting department has not.
The scouting department is.
I'm speaking on the scouting department. He was saying it's not a problem with the scouting department.
Hey, Wallace,
the scouting department has been god awful. And we only have 5 picks.
They like a dead clock, you know. So they at least write twice a day. So they got right.
When we talk about offense, they can hit some good skill. It's good skill, but when we talk about Troy Anderson,
but it's not getting. But here's the thing: we're not talking about getting every top player in the draft. We're talking about doing the due diligence and actually scouting players and watching what their true strengths and weaknesses are instead of looking at highlight tapes and picking a guy and bringing him in.
AKA the combine. We judging them by what they do in the combine. Like Troy Anderson. Troy Anderson was a freaking athlete, but he can't stay healthy, and we picked him over a Bucket Award winner in the Kobe Dean.
And Kobe's balling right, and the Kobe just got hurt now. They look at it. He was looking at measurables. Like the historian was just pointing out. I mean, they're not really doing the digging into the tape, really looking at these guys. They're looking at highlights and looking at their combine stats and stuff of that nature. and just briefly doing some brief research. You're not really digging into these guys and getting the right fit for the city of Atlanta. First, get the right city right. First, that's why I say get the right fit for the city, then get the player, because you can bring a great player here, but he don't fit with the city or he doesn't fit with the team, and then he doesn't play well. So I think they're doing a total disservice to themselves. So I don't know why don't we just scour the SEC, because you're getting guys that are from the South area and that have played in Atlanta a lot because they played in the Mercedes-Benz Dome a lot of.
Remember the places they love to go to. They love the Big
Yeah, they're
Ten.
familiar.
They love the West. They love the West Coast. They love bringing in guys from the West Coast. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because Rich McKay's dad is a former legendary USC coach that coached in the Pac-8 back in the day and then became Pac-10 and Pac-12, which is non-existent. They have an infatuation for West Coast dudes. I'm just gonna be honest. They have an infatuation for that. And at the end of the day, Rich McKay, I want to bring a little something up to you, my brother, my light-skinned brother that might be a little on the questionable side with some judgment calls. But I'll say this: your dad drafted Doug Williams out of Grambling State. Doug Williams turned around your former franchise that went 0-26. Just saying. He turned them around. He took them to an NFC championship game. Won them a division title back in the day. So again, when you sit back and look at it, you got to start doing better evals. And matter of fact, Rich, you got, it's sad to say it, but I think you've gone away from the blueprint of what your dad understood about great players. I think you need to start doing a little bit more due diligence, and you need to have a conversation with Terry about it. And Terry, brother, you from New Orleans. You from around that way in the boot. You grew up around the Bayou Classic, my man. You grew up watching Southern and Grambling in your city and looking at the legendary Eddie Robinson and so many of these great players. Like, yeah, I'm ranting about it or whatever. I'm going to get off of it because I know a lot of folks don't give a damn about HBCUs, but I do. So guess what? You got to suffer through it, or you can click the button and slide, because I'm going to give these guys credit. I'm going to talk about players that come up from not just HBCUs, from smaller schools that deserve opportunities because they were better than some of these guys at the big programs. If a guy can play, a guy can play. I don't give a damn where he come from. I don't care if he fits the city. He will fit the city if he wins, if he helps this team win, if he balls out. Everybody in Atlanta will ride with you. But you got to stop bringing in these damn choir boys and start bringing in more dogs when it comes to our scouting department.
I'm
bringing in some dogs now, but I still want them to fit
you. But you know what I'm talking. But you know what I'm saying. You bringing in all these dudes that are good for press conferences.
I need some thugs. I need about 4-5 thugs.
I ain't trying to bail nobody out of jail for getting in a fight at Magic City. We ain't trying to do that.
Yeah. As long as there ain't no felony, we'll be. As long as there ain't no felony, I need somebody to go slap somebody in the locker room.
But we got one guy.
Bring a Charles Oakley type in.
Yeah, we got one guy right now that came from a small school that is freaking off that made the Pro Bowl. Kadero Hodge, Prairie State,
Prairie View.
I'm sorry.
If you gonna say it right, damn it. It's Prairie View A&M by way of Alcorn State. Get these HBCUs right now. Now that right there boil my damn blood. You can't mess that up, man.
Hey man, I had a long day, man. I'm blaming it on the day.
It don't matter. I had a long day too, but you can't mess up no HBCUs, baby.
I didn't mess up the
of crop.
I'm sorry.
Our Bulldogs wouldn't have half the talent we had or whatnot if desegregation didn't happen, but that's a whole nother show. But
you ain't lying about that.
But getting back to it though, Terry Fontenot's got to address the pass rush, and here's the other thing he got to address: what are you gonna do with Kyle Pitts? What are you gonna do with Pitts? Are you gonna throw the fishing rod out there and put a little bait out there to see what you can get back for him? Because at this point, you're gonna have to pay him after this, pretty much, because he's gonna be a free agent. You're going to have to pay him. You already gave him the fifth-year option. Are you going to bring him back, or are you going to throw him out there to see what you can get back, whether it's a third-round pick or a trade for a player?
Well, my thing is, I don't think they want to admit that they probably made a mistake on picking Kyle Pitt that high. So they're gonna try to do their due diligence, but they're what Terry Fontenot said in the press conference. They're willing to trade down to get more picks. You might have to use a player to
I
get
would
there
not
to
trade
increase.
down.
What do you mean you're not trade
I
down?
would.
We need at least 2 more picks.
I understand what we need, but in this draft, this is not a loaded draft, in my opinion. I would stay where I'm at and take the best available defensive player on the board.
I'm not
Like I
saying
was
with the
saying
first.
earlier.
I'm not saying with the first pick, man.
I mean, if you have a scenario where you can trade down later in the draft, but I'm just saying, if
That
you look at this draft, last year's draft was a lot more stacked than this year's draft. Just my opinion, though.
and look who we
You
traded
make
up to get. And we traded up to get Aurora.
Yeah, so we do stupid things with picks. So we need to stay where we at.
I'm just saying.
Or trade,
Take the
or
best
trade back,
available defensive player.
or trade back and get some more picks. Hell,
Yeah, I mean,
That's
yeah,
what
you
I'm
can trade
saying.
back, but they might trade back and take some duds. Yeah.
we not. Here's the thing. At this point, we need draft picks. At this point,
Exactly.
Pitts has not
I
produced
do get you
at a
on that.
first round level. So
Yeah,
regardless,
yeah.
it's not going. Regardless, business is business. I know people fall in love with people's potentials,
Yeah,
but guess what? His ass got to go.
Yeah.
Brady got to go.
Yeah.
We need money right
go.
now. We need money right now. No one
Yeah.
wants to talk about the fact that we got $4 to $7
Jake
million
Matthews gotta go.
right now.
Yeah.
Brady got to go. He's not worth the money he's been at. I'm sorry. It's just
Yeah,
what it
Brady.
is. He hadn't been
You
producing.
You come back and get you a job somewhere down the line in the front office. I don't know, but right now you got to go.
Because we got to start moving this money around. Because guess what? We also have to have money to sign a few players that's going to be coming up soon. We gotta Terry's gotta figure that out. I'm like this. I know a lot of people want to keep Grady because he's a fan favorite, but listen here, folks. It's called moving on. It's called we're in the business of trying to win. If you're not in the business of trying to win, understand this right here, man. Look, you might as well just go ahead and get ready for a disappointing season. You got to make some moves at this point. A lot of folks want to sit here and keep people for life. I believe in what Bill Walsh said, the great Bill Walsh. I'm good with getting rid of guys right at their prime or right when they start to get at that point where they start right before they go downhill, when I could get some value for them and bring in more talent to keep the winning going. That's the reason why your Pittsburgh Steelers were champions for a long time. That's the reason why the 49ers reigned forever during the 80s. Or you go through the Patriots organization. It was good for cutting folks in the middle of their prime and bringing in young talent and letting them play.
Bill didn't care.
But again, this is what happens when you have folks that are in love with players opposed to being in love with the logo and thinking about moving forward to become better. Like, look, we can't just sit around and keep waiting on potential to happen. We just can't. I'm sorry. And I know that right there might piss some folks off, but you've got to realize that you have to look at the production. It sucks that he got injured, but hey, that's part of what happened to him while he was here. Kirk Cousins didn't trust him last year, throwing the ball to him. Let's be honest. Before Kirk decided to fall off of a cliff after he stole that money from us, he didn't trust Pitts. And I know people are gonna sit back and say, well, everybody gonna say, well, Pitts made the game-winning touchdown against, would have been the game, would have put us in the playoffs or whatever. We'd have kicked that field goal. Pitts tied up the game. Okay. Outside of that play and the Tampa Bay game on tight end day, what else has he done this year? I'll wait. I'll wait for my folks in the chat.
Oh, in the Philly game.
I'll wait for my folks in the chat. I got time tonight.
You must trade that.
I got time tonight. I'm rocking the Simple Paredes, the Coast Guard shirt tonight. Simple Paredes. Like I said, Simple Paredes always ready. I got time and I'm ready for it tonight. So y'all can bring the smoke tonight. I'm ready. But just to be honest though, I'm looking at the fact that we got a lot of young guys and we really need to start making moves at this point. If you're not going to draft a right tackle
God, we need one.
or a defensive lineman, you need to get a corner. You need to get a number 2. One of those. My thing is, I want the trenches in the first 2 rounds. But if you choose not to go in that direction, I need you to get AJ a number 2 corner. I need a consistent corner on my defense.
We could have had that last year.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me. That was painful.
Do not get any little itty bitty corners again, please.
From the APP, please.
I need a 6'1" or taller.
Hell, give me somebody out of the Big Ten. I'll take them. Give me somebody. Give me somebody from the Big 12. I'll take them.
I'll take that back. I'll take that cornerback from Syracuse because he's been coached up. God, he's been coached up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking at it, when we talk about the draft or whatnot, Terry talked about addressing the defensive line. And when you look at some of the linemen that are in it, the kid Walker out of Kentucky, you got another D lineman in Texas that you can look at that's going to the draft. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this will be the first year that we've seen not that many Georgia players drafted.
No,
because of the sharp decline and fall off. Now, at this point, you gotta look at Texas. You gotta look at Alabama. You gotta look at Ohio State because of what they've been doing this year. You gotta even look at Notre Dame.
Penn State too.
Yeah, Penn State, Ohio State.
I'm gonna tell you this: I ain't trusting a damn thing about a Penn State after what we've experienced. No, Arnold Ebiketie finally started to come on at the end. I get it, but hell no.
15 sacks coming up this next season.
Yeah,
hey, I'm gonna tell you like this here. I've already fallen off that damn fruit wagon. I'm letting you know now. I fell off the banana truck, as my granddaddy would say.
Hold up. Ain't Ebiketie at Penn State?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
He went off. So you better leave him alone.
At the end of the season, he had a few.
But he went off.
At the end of the season, he went off. But how long has he? Wait a minute. How long has he been here? 3 years, right? 3 years.
It takes time to develop. So there we go.
Here's the thing: going to get to pass it's not. I'll give you this. Learning the defense is one thing. The intricacies of learning how to be an NFL pro is one thing. But going to get the quarterback, that's something that should already naturally come. You being able to tackle your quarterback behind the line is something he also struggled with, just like Lorenzo Carter. So again, like I said, I'm not just going off the last half of the season. I'm going off of 3 years of a body of work. I can't just go off of a few games that make you feel good inside. Like, hell no.
I was trying to help his argument, but yeah.
You can't help that argument. Hey, that's just like Joe. Listen, that's pretty much as bad as Patrick Ewing driving the lane in 94 against the Pacers, where you thought you had something and it bounced out and they ended up losing. Remember?
He said he had to get out that cardio program
with them bad knees.
Boy, that hurt. Boy, you went there with that one. God.
Damn right I did. I had to.
Yeah, but here's my question.
What's up?
What do we go after first with the first pick? Do we go after the right tackle? No, but I'm saying, do we go after the right tackle? Because that is a need, because we need to protect our future investment in Penix, or do we go for the defensive time and the defensive line?
First, here's the thing.
I want experience offensive.
My thing is I want a guy to grow with Penix. I want a guy to get out. Here's my thing. I know what you're saying about the experience, but here's the thing. We've been a retirement home for veteran players that have come here. We have Steven Jackson.
I mean, can I get late 20s? Long as he ain't in his 30s, give me late 20s, like 27, 26.
The only one that really benefited was Dwight Freeney.
Hey, I got you on that. We'll talk about Kendall Bowler a little later in the show. I got you on that.
Oshiyemi,
I got you now.
Remember that? You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that guy?
Mm-hmm.
Retirement home.
And you know what's funny about Kendall? No. He's talking about Kendall Bowler out of FAMU. Yeah, the kid that's coming up, he played in the Hula Bowl or whatnot and got a pick and was showing his butt. So that's what he's talking about. But no, what I'm saying is, looking at what we have, I would rather get a right tackle that's going to grow up with Penix, that's hungry for a job, that's going to be thinking, hey, if I don't block for this guy, I don't get to eat. I need one of those. I've already told you who I want. I already told you who I want to take, and you can get him as an undrafted free agent or a low round draft pick. Give me my man Carson Vincent out of Alabama A&M.
You talking about that
6
humongous
foot
guy?
Yes, 6'6", round 310. He's a biscuit off from 315. Yes, and got good footwork and can move. I'm saying with the limited picks that we have, that's a guy that I would look at. But there's still a lot of great talent out there across the board or whatever, when it comes to this draft. I think we go offensive. I think we either go offensive line or defensive line in the first round. That's just me.
That's what I'm thinking. Any chance of getting a defensive back this year?
I should take the best defensive player when we're up on that board.
But if it can defensive, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it can defensive back, you go for it.
Yeah. If it's a defensive end, you take them. If it's a defensive tackle, you take them. It's the defense, and that's what we need. We take them.
What about linebacker?
I'm taking him. If he's the best player on the board, I'm taking him.
At this point, this is a defense. Here's the thing: it's a defensive loaded draft.
Yeah,
you have to take defense in this draft.
I only care if I don't know where I'm gonna put him at. We're taking him. The Atlanta Falcons, we select. We're gonna figure it out later. We're gonna put him somewhere on this defense.
We need to come out to help Ellis out, man, because Ellis balled out this year.
Yeah, Ellis needs some help. That linebacker core need to be I think it need to be retooled. Leave Ellis in there, but everybody else be.
I will pause for the call because I want to see what Trice is going to do once he gets healthy.
It's gonna take him at least mentally a year to get back.
I agree with that.
It's gonna take. Don't expect him to come out the gate shooting. I mean, maybe preseason he probably will, but here's the thing: it's going to take him at least a year mentally, not physically, mentally, to trust his knee all the way and to get back the way he was at.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But again, we'll sit back and wait to see. We'll sit back and wait to see what happens because at this point, because at this point, because all I'm gonna say is this here: you do realize if Terry and them boys got this one wrong with this here, and you passed on Jared Verse, just know somebody getting walking papers. Somebody getting walking papers if Trice don't turn up. Just know the walking papers coming because you already got rid of a defensive coordinator. You already botched the first pick with Kyle Pitts because you signed off on it, even though you didn't have all that power. You're pretty much going to be the scapegoat in that sense.
And you had Jared Verse. He was right there.
Like I said, he got a lot of things he on the hook for. So he got he cannot afford to have another losing season. We know he's going to get canned next year. So I'm sure he know that. And all that brash talk that these guys be having, they got to kind of reel it back in to be more humble. They speak a lot of they walk with like they got a big stick. Like you ain't got no big stick, man. You got a little twig because y'all ain't doing that. Y'all can get that twig knocked out your hand real quick.
That's a mess right
I mean, for both of them, I'm talking about for Terry and for Raheem. Both of them got like too much of an arrogance. I need to be more humble moving forward, especially into this next season because you guys. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how they're gonna sell out this stadium. I mean, I love Michael Penix, but man, he ain't got me amped to just go in there because I don't know what we're gonna have on the field, what we're bringing back. They have to really get in and dig their toes in and put a great roster together because I don't see it. Judon, Simmons, man, them boys didn't do nothing to me. Them boys do nothing. What you gonna do?
This might be the most important off-season in our franchise history.
I'm gonna give you a guy that's solid or whatever. Will Campbell out of LSU would be a guy that you would take. The last time we took an LSU guy, Mr. Mud Duck, we saw how that ended up. That was one of the ones that he, he's in the Ring of Honor now. He paid dividends. But again, when we look at it, There are so many jewels out here when you talk about the offensive line. You've got to get somebody that's going to protect Michael Penix's blind side. Josh Simmons is another offensive tackle. He's out of Ohio State, who would definitely benefit protecting his side. I mean, a lot of the linemen that are in this draft are versatile. A lot of them are versatile. They can play left tackle, they can play right tackle. And my thing is, if I get an offensive lineman, I want a guy that's going to be versatile. I need a guy that can play multiple spots, plug and play, just like they did with Nate Bergeron. Bergeron is a natural left tackle. He's a natural left tackle, but he's been holding it down as a right guard. So guess what? They're going to probably eventually slide him, kick him out, and they're going to bring another young pup in when the Dave Matthews decides to walk away, or if he does retire a Falcon, or if they don't trade him. You know what I'm saying?
That was a damn good pick. Damn good pick.
Yep.
Bergeron panned out greatly.
Yeah. So we got to give him props on choosing Bergeron. But like I say, it's like a dead clock, right? Twice a day, so they're gonna get some of them right.
True.
Yeah.
They get a bunch of them wrong.
I've already said, if it ain't coming out of like the programs that you're known for producing great players in the SEC, I want stuff out of Iowa. I want stuff out of Wisconsin. I want stuff out of Ohio State for the offensive line, because we know that they have a longevity. That's how I look at it.
Who won the Joe Moore Award this year? What offensive line?
Damn. Good question.
We know Michigan won it years running.
Yeah, but I don't think I heard about Michigan this year. So I'm trying to think.
Nah, I don't think it was Michigan. I think it was.
I want to, whoever won it.
The last team that won it was Army, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't getting none of them boys. You know they got service obligation.
Oh yeah, they gonna go curve.
They not gonna let them boys come here.
They gonna rap. They curve after their 4-year commit. They can go play after their 4-year commit.
He's playing in LA. Kool-Aid. Yeah, that's Jared Verse. That was the guy that I had on my draft board, but we took Trice instead.
Division round. Look at that.
Anybody in the chat know who led got the Joe Moore Award? Put that in the chat.
That was Army. I just told you. Army got that this year.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not gonna get none of those boys. They got service obligations.
Yeah. Well, no, man. They about to go curve for 4 years. Then they might be able to get that go play contract if they stay in shape.
Exactly. That was who just won it this year. Now,
all right.
So here's the other thing we're gonna get at, folks. Looking at, we already talked about the pass rush. We've already talked about it. What Falcons free agents would y'all want to see gone, and what would y'all like to see done in bringing some things back?
Man, I don't think Judon gonna be here, even though he started. You start seeing him finally get his feet under him later on in the season. Justin Simmons, I think he's gone. My boy Longo, hey, you been real, brother, but you gotta go. I just think, if anything, they're gonna look at the cap and see who's worthy to take a peek of that cap out of these free agents that we got come up, and it ain't gonna be too many.
I'm with Gray Beard, man. I ain't bringing none of these jokers back. I'm going out there and start. I'm being honest, man. I'm being very honest. I'm not laughing or smiling. I'm going out there and I'm going some new groceries. Them groceries stale.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on the huge.
I just feel like if we're gonna start over with a new defense coordinator, we start over new and afresh. We're gonna start over with the right ingredients, coming from a reputable source, like he's saying, some of these big time universities, and don't forget to scour the even illustrious HBCUs also. No stone unturned, and we finna load up and go for this run, because guess what? If you don't get in the playoff, even if you go out in the first round like Tampa Bay did, if you don't get in them playoff, your butt's gone. So,
well, just notice if Don Wink Martindale comes to Atlanta, Judon is staying. I hope y'all know that, because that's one of his guys. Judon will
yeah.
be staying.
I
That's
mean,
one of his guys.
I wouldn't mind. I'm just saying we can't keep all of them, like you said. The point is, which one make the most sense for him to stay? That's the question. Cause like
Now,
somebody said, Mike
He
Hughes ain't gonna
said
be
you're
here.
rid of the whole defense.
Damn, man, come on,
Dang,
man.
Red.
Richie
Richie,
Richie,
gone.
Y'all,
Richie,
you see the comment? Did y'all see the comment Richie made? Say he love Atlanta. I don't want to go nowhere.
Yeah, he love Atlanta because he know he ain't gonna get no shot nowhere else. They gonna unless he
Man.
go to Canada, and I don't even think he gonna get a shot there.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Teams
I
like
don't know. I don't think
Carolina,
he-
Jack,
I don't think-
team like
So here's another
Carolina,
one. I'm gonna give
Jacksonville
y'all a
get a
list of
shot.
guys real quick. I got it up for you. So you got
Okay.
Taquan Graham, Richie Grant, Ross Dwelly, Drew Dahlman, gone.
Yeah.
Free agent. Eddie Goldman, Antonio
Gone.
Hamilton Sr.,
I ain't heard nobody.
Damon Harris. My thing is, Kadero Hodge will be back, even though he's gonna be a free agent. He coming back. They ain't letting their special teams ace leave.
No. He think.
Okay, that's the first
So
name
let
I heard.
me give you. So you got Hughes, Judon, Kevin King, Rondell Moore. He didn't play. Storm Norton, keep him. I'm telling you that now. Keep him. Riley Patterson, he should have been cut after Washington. Justin Simmons. Then you got Kentavious Street, Elijah Wilkinson, Avery Williams, and Joshua. These are your unrestricted free agents. Your restricted free agents are D. Alford, Harrison Hand, Kyle Hinton, Nate Landman, Liam McCullum, and Ryan Neisel, the center.
Nigel and
I keep Nigel.
I was gonna say I would keep Nigel, and he said.
What about Storm Norton?
I'm keeping Storm Norton because he's productive. That is something that you have to.
I will keep Storm Norton.
Yeah, that's something that you got to keep because if you ever notice, he's better at pass blocking than McGarry. And when he's in, all the quarterbacks have had time. Every last quarterback.
Why don't we just get rid of
I'm trying to work Storm Norton as a start. I'm trying to work him in.
Yeah. If we need to pay money, just put him in at the starter.
Now here's the thing. Now we need to draft a safety because if they don't bring Justin Simmons back, everybody was like, Helms is gonna be here. But I'm like, look, I'm at the point where I want to draft a safety. I need a safety.
You want Malachi, don't you?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I was gonna say y'all keep that head case right there in Tuscaloosa. The hell with that joker. No, sir.
Malachi. Oh,
don't want him. I'm thinking about Malachi Moore from Alabama.
No, I'm talking about Malachi. No, I'm talking about Malachi Stark.
It depends. Yeah, he's been hit or miss with me this year. It depends. But if I'm gonna go safety, I'm just gonna keep it honest with you. I'm looking at Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, he good.
Legit safety.
He good.
Legit. And then you also got Nick Emanori out of South Carolina. Those two safeties I'm looking at. Now, if I'm drafting a safety, if they're there. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, if I'm not drafting a safety and I got to go through the undrafted free agent side of things, you know which direction I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
Give me Kenny Gallup Jr. out of Howard University. Definitely was a monster. And I can tell you this here. The University of Maryland tried to get him. Rutgers tried to get him. And a few other schools were trying to poach him from Howard. So I'm like, hey, if you can get schools that want you or even look at you, North Carolina State and a few other D1 schools looked at him, I'm looking at him. If you can't draft one, go get him as an undrafted free agent. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And Keon O'Neal was gone before 2020. I said that earlier.
Yeah,
that couldn't cover a wet blanket if he was butt naked and soaking wet.
Yeah, one good year got hurt, and that was it.
Helms is a hybrid, Will. Helms is a hybrid. He's one of those guys that can play down in the box, and he can also cover in the flats, but he's not a deep coverage guy. That's just not his game. That was the reason why he dropped down in the draft stock when he came out, because he was a 7th round pick, if you remember. So let's talk about some of the best and worst moments of the season.
That Philly game was a good moment.
That was a high.
That was starting to get on that high. That third Tampa.
And then that Denver game.
That's the worst moment for y'all?
No, the worst moment was when we lost to the freaking 8. That's when started the downfall.
Nah, Seattle started that.
True. No, but they ain't. But just losing to them made it work.
Oh no, that Denver game. I mean, everybody got their, I was actually at the Seattle game. I wasn't, I was a little touched, but
man, don't try to clean that up because we got it recorded. You was pissed. You said I wasted money coming down here. They played like this. I had to pay for parking, gas, and food. You was 38 high.
It wasn't cheap.
I don't know. That Denver it ain't never cheap. But that Denver game had me in my feelings though. So
man, that last game had me in my feelings.
I'm gonna give you this here. The best game for me.
Oh, you talking about the one with Penix? I mean, I just felt like it is what it is. Penix got
no when Bryce Young had 5 touchdowns against them, that would piss me off.
I'm gonna give you this. Well,
but you've been saying that for a long time.
They packed it on up when they saw we went.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They already had their girl booking trips to Cancun already. They're like, man, okay, look, and if we get in the playoffs, you got to go ahead and cancel.
I'm gonna give it to you raw. The best moment for me this year was at the hunting grounds. Dave and Buster's hanging with y'all, and we watched Pooh when he was healthy get a walk-off win, and that whole place erupted. Yeah, it was loud as hell because the Falcons walked it off, and we had a hell of a party. That was my best moment for the season. Hanging out with the BirdCage fam and hanging out with fans. Artavius was up in the building. John was there. It's so many that was there that I can't even name. It was that was a hell of a memory. And beating New Orleans on that day, that's what made it even better. That was my favorite. Now, my worst, I'm going to say it like this here, and I know I'm going to piss some people off, but you know what? I gotta make it right.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, you know what it is. You know what it is.
Oh, Lord. Here it is.
The bad guy's back.
Shit.
Did you just?
My bad.
I'm gonna give you this here. My 2 worst moments. Raheem tricking off this season the way that he did.
Okay.
Hiring him over some of the candidates we could have taken that wouldn't have pissed away the season.
That was not expected.
I stand on that. Those are my worst moments. I ride with Raheem because he got the logo, but it pissed me off when they picked him and they had other candidates who were a little bit more competent because he showed the incompetence in that Washington game, holding on to timeouts. The week before, holding on to timeouts, doing the same thing. Like, what you gonna do? You gonna pocket them timeouts? You gonna take it to the corner store with you? You gonna take them timeouts and buy a Pepsi Cola or a Coke for my Georgia folk? Like, really?
Yeah, that.
Only reason I say Pepsi because he from Jersey and that's what they drink up there.
And that's who I work for. But but I think the one of
the thoughts of the Birdcage do not reflect Glenn Graybeard Smalls for the Pepsi company. So if you do get a meeting, that was on me. That is not on Glenn Smalls. That comment does not reflect him. So my boy work at Pepsi. I got to give a disclaimer because you don't know who's watching. So I got you, Glenn.
He's team. He's definitely team Pepsi here. Okay.
Yes.
All day.
We don't need to get Glenn.
And even on Sunday.
We don't need to get Glenn in trouble with his manager.
Definitely on Sunday. But That man, it's just something about losing to those ain't the way we did, especially when we had an opportunity to win. And that Washington game, which just took it over the edge for me. I'm sorry.
And I'll give you this, man. The crazy part about the whole thing is this. Now we're looking for defensive coordinators. Derek Ainsley's been interviewed. You've had Wink Martindale's been interviewed. Jerry, Olbrick has been interviewed. Then we all know that what's old boy's name? Lou out of Cincinnati got interviewed as well.
Yeah.
Jesse Pace's old guy. And then again, no one's mentioned Jerry Gray. No one even promoted Jerry Gray. We're looking at everything outside of this man, and you're not gonna bring him somebody. But it's okay. If you go, as long as you keep him in the building, I'm fine. But I would prefer that you at least give him an opportunity to be your defensive coordinator.
I'm surprised they didn't think about that from the get-go.
Yeah, we know he's an assistant head coach, but he's also an assistant defensive coordinator as well, and DB coach. You can swipe one of those titles and pass it to somebody and make him the defensive coordinator as well as the assistant head coach and bring him in someone to assist him. So if my thing is this, if you're going to bring his what's going on, Damon, We Talk Hawks TV. Y'all, the Hawks got a good win last night with some backups. We'll take it.
They got two wins with third string.
Hey, this how you look. This how you know it's a good week. Damon is on the show on a Thursday night, chilling with us right now. If the Hawks would have lost last night, you wouldn't have seen his ass until next week. I'm just being honest. You wouldn't have seen him till next week. He being
look,
as he would say, garage gang. My dog say garage gang. Shout out to the garage gang as well, man. Those boys down there, they hold it down. If you want to check out great Hawks content, check out We Talk Hawks TV and my guy Larry from the Dixon Way does commentary, man. So gotta make sure that you guys that are Atlanta sports fans, you support these Atlanta content creators, man. Because as I said, we take time out of our lives to entertain the masses. We enjoy it. We just need a little help with those likes and those subscribes.
How did you feel about the Kirk Cousins? How did you fit there? And that messed up. But now, how did you feel about the Kirk Cousins wag perfect?
I'm not mad at it because it showed that the city, if you're winning, and I hate the fact that we got fair weather fans, I call a spade, but if you're winning, this whole city gets behind you and they're gonna ride with you. You see that. But the question is, are they going to ride with this team right now while we in the dumps?
That is a good question. I mean, we don't endure it a lot at Falcon fans. We don't endure it a lot, man. So I look at it, man. If you can't endure this, man, I don't know what to tell you. Cause it's not always going to be like this, man. But I just think, man, I'd have been loyal to this team for well over 25 years. Where I'm gonna go? Honestly and truthfully,
that's what it is. That's the last part. Where I'm gonna go?
Where am I going?
Red and black.
Red and black.
Mm-hmm. That's the crazy thing. Like at this point, you got to really look at what's gonna be next. What are you gonna put out here for Jerry Gray, or what are you gonna put out here for all these other guys? I'm done. You know what? I'm done being the bad guy, so I'm gonna get back to being Ryan, the historian. So let me go ahead and slide this back. Yeah, I gotta come back to my senses right now. You know, it's a few people that I kind of want to get that bad guy vibe to today, but I'm gonna be cordial tonight. So
true.
That's very true.
That is true.
There's no lie on that one, man.
That is true.
But here's the thing. Why not give him an opportunity, Wallace? The man has earned it. The man has had solid defenses, and the man has coached Hall of Famers. Who else do you have in mind that is going to be able to come in here and have a defense humming like that? outside of Brian Flores, who's up in Minneapolis right now.
And also have to respect every player in that locker room.
Exactly. Got to remember, Jerry is a guy that played this game and was a former first-round pick and was respected as a player. So, again, it's just what it is. But, anywho, looking at the Falcons coming up this year, there are a lot of things that's got to be improved this year. Just a lot of things. And the one thing I'm going to say that I also think needs to be improved is accountability at press conferences. I'm going to speak. See, me, y'all know how I get down. See, I'll talk about the little things that no one wants to talk about. Everybody will talk about all the players and all this. No, I'm going to even talk about the towel boy. I'm that dude. I'm going to talk about the water boy, the towel boy, the popcorn man. I'm talking about everybody everybody that's involved with this organization. So I look at it like this. We've got to have a lot more transparency and a hell of a lot more accountability at these press conferences from the leadership, from Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot. You can't be a politician with this fan base at this point, because right now fans are tired of the BS answers. See, I almost cussed.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're really looking at it like this. It's one of those things where we're saying, hey, you've got to be smart enough to say, listen, I screwed this up. I did this.
Mm-hmm.
You got to say it. And here's my thing. I believe Raheem Morris would have a lot more backers right now and a lot more people supporting him if he would have just came out and said it.
I think
if he came out and said it. I mean, and the reason why people are pissed is because of the fact there's no accountability, because of the fact that you don't address the issues that are right there in the room. And it's just what it is. And I feel like this. If Raheem would be in the city, because he's from Jersey, God knows if he'd have been here in Philly,
they would have
or
ate him
New
alive.
York.
They would have ate him alive.
I live in Philly, so I hear what they say. They were trying to fire Nick Sirianni after the Falcons game, after that loss. And this man took them to the playoffs. This man took them to a Super Bowl, and they were ready to get rid of him. See, that's the difference between our fans and media and their fans and media, because you got delusional fans everywhere. But when you talk about the hard questions, the questions that's going to make you just kind of take a deep breath and you got to think about it, they don't hit him with it. It's only one reporter, and I can't think of his name, who hit Raheem with a lot of questions afterwards.
Oh.
Yeah. So here's the question for you. How do you guys feel? And we're going to bring this up because it's football related. How do y'all feel about Deion Sanders possibly going to Dallas as a head coach, even though he said he wouldn't do it?
It's going to be a circus, man. Cause he gonna have stipulation. The question is, if Jerry Jones gonna agree with his stipulation? Cause Jerry Jones got stipulation. So I mean, I don't know, man. I just think everything, the way he got rid of Jimmy Johnson, that man could not keep a quality head coach in there. Cause he wasn't. Cause I mean, there was one man. There were two men in that organization that Jerry Jones could never pump. That Jimmy Johnson and that Bill Parcells.
Nope.
It wasn't gonna happen. Now then,
right.
But
Parcells, like you say, Parcells came in a situation where he was already gonna go to the Hall of Fame. He already had pretty much a resume that Jerry Jones couldn't scoff at. 2 Super Bowls, playoff appearances. And really 2 Super Bowls won with 3 Super Bowl appearances. Make sure I get that right. Because he lost with the Patriots.
Yep. Against Green Bay in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just think with Deion, do I think it could work? Yeah. But he also have to realize now you're not dealing with young boys, you're dealing with grown men. So how that gonna transpire? Because we don't see oftentimes when college coaching try to get into the NFL 11, don't pan out too well. But then again, everybody ain't like Dion though. So
That's what I was gonna say. But
Hey,
I
hey,
feel like
hey,
he's a great candidate for the job. If Jerry Jones steps back and let the guy run the team, it'll be all right. But if he doesn't, then it's gonna be the same thing, like you said with Bill Parcells and other coaches that have been there. So I mean,
wait,
it is what it is. This guy
wait
wants
a
to win.
minute.
He got to let him do
The
what he got to
difference
do.
is Bill Parcells can actually win playoff games, and Bill wins games that are supposed to be won. Dion, on the other hand, and I say it, I ain't like all y'all that's gonna kiss his ass or whatnot. I love me some Prime, but I ain't kissing his ass. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. The man lost games that he should have won as a coach at Jackson State and this year at Colorado. Now I understood the first year because it was a turnaround, but again, 2 national championship games you lost
South Carolina
because you
State.
out coached and out muscled. Then you go to Colorado. You figured out what your issue was when it came to the trenches, and you got out coached again, unfortunately.
Brigham Young.
And here's the thing. I think he's a great old school coach for college kids. It ain't gonna work on the NFL level. And the reason I say college kids and whatnot, you can get these young men to follow you because of the fact that you're a big time personality. You have more money than these kids, so money ain't gonna be a problem. Like Dion said, his problem was I'm gonna have an issue with coaching guys that make more money than me, and they're not gonna want to listen. That's what he was saying his issue was, and he said he fight. He said he fight guys because he loved to win. But with college kids, you still dealing with kids mentally. They're big, overgrown children. That's really what they are. Because let's be real, fellas. None of us were mature at 18, 19 years old. Hell,
Nope.
2021. None of us were.
Nope.
We were doing stupid stuff at that age.
Indeed.
So when you
Indeed.
have
They do stupid stuff when they get in the league.
and they still kids, technically, even though they're physically grown and
Yeah.
they're called grown men, mentally they still have mindsets of a child. A lot of them do.
Hey, now get it back, man. People still living their second childhood. Oh,
Perfect line. But
Yeah,
I
I mean,
say, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I was agreeing with Artavius. I said, yeah, man, he just need to stay in college. If you can't be himself, you can't be Dion or Prime, whatever you want to be. Then stay where you at because of
You gotta
Colorado,
be
you can do
coached
whatever
down.
out there.
and then when you lose game after Cowboy head coach, you already know they're gonna try to put fire to him off rip.
It's not just gonna be just that. It's also gonna be some other stuff that he's gonna deal with that
Exactly.
we're
Yeah,
not gonna mention.
but you already know where I'm getting at though, right?
Yeah, because think about it. Gerard Mayo was in a no-win situation in New England.
God.
Whether
Yeah,
he
I
got
mean,
to
he
the
got
playoffs or
bored.
not, he was in a no-win situation.
Antonio Pierce can't wait.
All I say is I hope, these guys were given chances. And this is why I was really angry at Raheem Morris this year.
Mm-hmm.
What pissed me off was this. You see coaches getting fired left and right, and you still got a job. You still got a job, bro. They could have fired you, and it wouldn't have been no problem because guess what? They gave you a chance, and they can say that. But because you have an owner that is patient, that is going to try to give you an opportunity, bro, you have to take advantage of these opportunities because many that look like you, the shade of night, don't get many opportunities and second chances as a head coach. You were blessed. Lovie Smith got hosed in Houston.
Lord did he.
And I keep telling people, if Raheem don't make it, please call Lovie Smith or Rex Ryan. Please bring me a defensive-minded coach that's tough, that's smart enough to bring in somebody offensively that can call an offense. Because both of them have been to Super Bowls. One was a head coach. One was a defensive coordinator that orchestrated one of the greatest defenses of all time with the 2000 Ravens. Rex Ryan was the DC. And if you look at it, the New York Jets ain't been right since he left.
Yeah.
Look at Chicago.
So
Look at Chicago. Chicago hadn't been right since Levy left.
Man, look at the fact that they gave Adam Gay so many opportunities, and that dude was trash.
So here's my question, and this is just far-fetched, and this is just for, giggles and laughs. Say Raheem has another horrible season this year where he blows another division lead. Do you keep him or do you go ahead and make him hit the bricks? Give him his pink slip.
Go ahead and move him out the paint.
Oh, we already know he's gone, man.
No. I'm asking, do you at least give him 3 full years? Because we got some people that were like, oh well, y'all want to get rid of him, and they gave Arthur Smith 3 years. I'm like, Arthur was a first-time head coach. Difference.
And I don't think he should have got 3 years. So
I don't think he should have got 2.
I know he got 3 years. It wasn't up to me. I would have got rid of him after 2 years. It's just like they got rid of these guys after 1 year. You ain't producing. Because you got guys to come in and produce. You got the D'Amico Ryan came in and produced. You got guys that come in and produce. You ain't produced.
You see what happened?
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say you about to say Dan Quinn. Just look at the turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish, though, Ryan.
It's like this. When you look at everything that went down with Dan Quinn, and not just Dan Quinn, you look at how Washington went about it, changing everything when their owner took over. Think about it. It was a group, yeah, but you see the Philadelphia 76ers owner and Magic Johnson there all the time. Guess what they did? They brought in the Golden State Warriors GM, who understands, hey, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. Let me get people around here that understand football. Let me look at track records. I'm just saying, think about everything that you have that is there. They changed everything around, and they in the playoffs. They had Ron Rivera's team where Dan Quinn had 1 year last year. The defense was straight last year. You know what I'm saying? The defense was straight. The problem was the offense. Cliff Kingsbury came in, and you see he changed it just like that.
Jalen Daniels make a great impact.
There you go. That's the main thing that happens.
But here's the thing. But I'm gonna be honest with you.
Appreciate you.
I don't think that was the main thing, because Jaden Daniels could have came into a situation where he didn't have a Cliff Kingsbury. Cliff Kingsbury, to me, was the reason they started taking off. Jaden Daniels is a huge piece of that. I'm not taking that away. But let's be real. Look at great quarterbacks that have crappy offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
Think about it. Yeah, we see a lot of quarterbacks that's got talent. Look at Caleb Williams right now. A talented quarterback with a crappy OC.
And he got offensive weapons. That man got firepower.
Swift
got him all kind of weapons.
Swift, Cole Kmet, DJ
Allen.
Moore.
They going to get him all kind of weapons.
And then you got your boy from Washington, Rome Aduzier.
Like I said, they went and got him all kind of weapons.
But go ahead. It was just the offensive coordinator. That was the weakest link.
And it showed. So think about it. If Daniels would have had a weak OC, they would have been in the same boat as Chicago.
I agree.
I'm just starting to think that it's just not great. A lot of great offensive minds out there that can just win. I ain't saying it's not offensive coordinators, but I'm talking about really, really good offensive coordinators.
I got to give
a lot of bad ones out there.
I got to give Sean McVay some credit, man. The way he took this team was dead in the water. And this young team not only rallied, it's now in the second round of the NFL playoff with a young defensive core that's going to be terrorizing the team for years to come. That man deserves a raise.
You know who that defensive coordinator is, right?
Who did he think?
I know
he's the grandson of a legend. That's Don Shula's grandson. You do know that, right?
Damn.
Yeah. A lot of people don't even know that that's Don. He was quiet. That's Chris Shula. That's Mike Shula's son.
Okay, he got that defense, boy.
Yeah. So just think about it. That's Mike Schuler's son. That
With
man
all
is
the
Don Schuler's grandson. So when you look at it, the man was around greatness. I'm sorry, he's Dave Schuler's son, not Mike. He's the nephew of Mike. He's Dave Schuler, Dave's son. Yeah. And just think about it. He definitely has earned his way up the ladder. It wasn't just because of his name. Started off at Ball State. He was, a matter of fact, people don't know that he was a good linebacker at Miami of Ohio with the Red Hawks. And guess who his teammate was? Sean McVay.
Sean.
Yeah, Sean McVay got one of his. That's what you call helping one of your boys out. Letting him get groomed before you bring him in.
But look at
I want you to look at the track record. Hell, I'll pull it up for you. Since we talking about it, you got me started.
No, but look, I'm just looking at the fact that all the injuries Sean McVay had to endure. Your top two wide receivers were out the majority of the season, and you're still winning games.
I want you to look at this. This is his resume. This is his whole resume. And he was on that Super Bowl team. He's been a grad assistant. He became a defensive quality control in 2015. He was an assistant linebackers coach. He was an outside linebackers coach, pass game coordinator and DB coach, pass rush coordinator and linebacker coach, and now a defensive coordinator.
Okay, so he was on staff with Raheem.
He was on staff with Wade Phillips before Raheem got there.
No, I'm just saying he's been there for a while, though.
Yeah, he was there before Raheem got there. He was there with Wade Phillips. So let's keep this a buck. He was blessed up under Wade. Think about that, man. Wade Phillips, you learning from one of the greatest defensive minds of all time. Then step in Raheem. Got to give Raheem his credit because he got that team and that defense. Once they gave him some more pieces, they ended up winning the Super Bowl, beating the Bengals.
They gave that man everything. And you got Aaron Donald. Let me go ahead and get you Jalen Ramsey.
Eric Weddle came out of retirement. Weddle was on the couch. Came out of retirement and helped the boys win a chip.
And who was the dude that went to Texas A&M that got drafted by Denver?
Von Miller.
They got him too. They went all
and they also had Leonard Floyd.
That defense was telling you.
So I mean,
they had a lot of people came in.
So I mean, the defense is kind of like a good roux. You already got all the base of everything. All you need to do is add your chicken, your sausage, the Holy Trinity. I mean, you're adding everything to make a good gumbo. That's really what you're doing. And he had the ingredients for a good gumbo right off the bat. He walked into that situation and they was loaded. That's why I still say to this point, I got to see more out of Raheem Morris because every situation he's walked into where teams were already established. So again, as I said before, I wanted a Lovie Smith or a Rex Ryan because them two had to build their teams when they became head coaches.
Hey, you can earn my respect if you can have Rex Grossman as your quarterback and you go all the way to the Super Bowl.
Or go to an AFC Championship game with Mark Sanchez.
God, the butt.
Hey, look! After seeing that in my lifetime, there's no excuses.
No.
And unfortunately, the Patriots team took out Rex Ryan and messed him up in the playoffs every year. Yeah. And then Lovie Smith, being in the playoffs, had to deal with Green Bay. Had to deal, they dealt with us at one point. Well, not us, dealt with Seattle at one point. I mean, what can you do at that point?
And then when he made it to the Super Bowl, he had to go against Tony Dungy.
His best friend, one of his best friends.
Yeah.
The man who gave him his first job. But we're not going to sit here and bore you with that. But it's just the fact that we have to really look out. We really got to look for a defensive coordinator that's really going to bring this thing together. Because we have the pieces offensively. The skill pieces offensively. We got to get that line right. That line right. But we have the skill pieces to produce a winning team. The question is, are they going to do it? Can we do it? Will we do it? Or will we still be the same old Falcons that we are, sitting here having kumbaya sessions and not talking about playing in the postseason right now?
Kind of like an AA meeting.
I'm not, listen, I'm not a bird fan. I'm a Falcon for life. You cut me, I bleed this. So guess what? As how Robin Harris said it, I'm not a drunk. I'm an alcoholic. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a drunk. It's a difference. I'm not a Falcon. I'm not a Falcon. I'm a dirty bird. It's in my blood. It'll always be here, win, lose, or draw. And I'm still gonna be talking trash.
Yeah, man. I think the culture need to change, man. I mean, I think we have a problem trying to adapt everybody else's identity instead of trying to develop our own identity at times.
But here's the thing: we don't have an identity and we don't have a culture.
True. We only got one culture, and the culture that we don't like.
Losing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On that note, I feel like this here, we gonna get this thing right. We ain't got no choice. Or Raheem is gonna be out on his John Brown hind pots, and he'll have a pink slip just like his homeboy.
Coach Boone.
That's right. God rest Coach Boone's soul.
No.
And here's what's ironic: Coach Boone coached around that way too. Crazy to think about. But we're going to have some things that's going to be coming up and whatnot during the off season. We'll have some interviews for you guys coming up pretty soon. Y'all stay tuned for that. And then we're also going to try to have some events that are going to come up maybe next year. Maybe we might have a draft party. Maybe we might have, with the draft party, we might have some special guests. You never know. Or we might be in Atlanta for the draft party. Like I say, you never know what we're working on. So y'all stay tuned. We definitely appreciate you taking time out to chat with us tonight in the chat section and also hang with us. Y'all, please hit that like and subscribe button on the way out or whatnot. Definitely, we appreciate that because it keeps us going. So, for the magnificent BirdCage crew, K-Dub, Graybeard, myself, the historian, we are definitely going to see you guys next Thursday. You either get right or you get left. And, hey, enjoy the time off right now because your blood pressure ain't high. So just enjoy the fact that we get to watch somebody else be pissed off if they lose. Because damn it, I'm clowning. I might be at home, but somebody joining me. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm petty today.
Hey, one thing. Who y'all got for the national title?
I don't care about the national title. I hope both of them lose.
How?
A permanent tie, damn it. Let them shed a trophy.
God, they ain't gonna do that no more.
You know that look. That's that look. I ain't gonna lie. I'm still salty about that.
Very.
Nah, but on paper it's Ohio State. But for some reason, I hate to say it, but those damn Catholics are gonna win it.
I
hate to say that, but they just play. It's just they got belief right now. They got belief.
That coach coached them boys up.
Yeah, he coached them up. I mean, that's why I wanted to win because if you put us out, at least I'll say we lost to the eventual national champion. So that's what I'm hoping for. But we'll see what happens.
Hey, it is what it is, man. Hopefully that happens. But as I said before, we got some new things we're gonna be working on. So you either get right or you get left. We'll catch you next week. Peace.